Welcome back to Super Metroid. There's an item we missed in Wrecked Ship that hopefully I'm going to remember to get next time we pass by. It's kind of out of the way to go get now. But last time, we explored Wrecked Ship, we got spooked by ghosts, and we left with Phantoon defeated and the gravity suit. And there was a nearby entrance that took us here to Meridia. Now that water no longer bothers us, we can go exploring. I was just thinking that there was a time in older games. You saw this in, like, the NES era and earlier, I want to say, like the Amiga kind of games. When did the Amiga come out? Was that before or after? I don't know. Not gonna worry about it. But there was a time around then where developers... Oh, forgot about that yapping mall. But there was a time when it was almost the Wild West of development. And you got some really otherworldly, unnatural designs. In world designs, enemy designs, nothing had been standardized yet. Nobody knew what to expect, so brains just went wild. You can wall jump up here, but the door's gray, so you can't go in. And I want to say the world in the Super Metroid very much feels like it harkens back to that. Like Meridia here. Just between all the vines hanging down, which you can tell they're vines, but the previous room with the weird little platforms that came up, like there's all some vague basis in reality, but it's all handled in a way that's just not quite right. So you look down, you can see there's something down there. So let's keep exploring. Ah, must have been this. Okay. So there's a door here. Actually, what's through this door? Okay, not much. The sand that's falling in some of these rooms is neat, too. Just a neat aesthetic choice, though it does actually affect the mechanics of the game some as well. Oh, I like how you pass behind these. Instead of just part of the design, it feels like you're actually having to, like, shuffle your way through them. This path here just takes us back down to the gray door we couldn't go in before. And through this door, we get a quick glimpse at a few things we may see in the future. Just in case I have to come back someday. So, as a child, I remember, so we entered way up there, and now we're way down here. So as a child, I remember having, I forget what room it was, I remember having an obscene amount of difficulty getting through one particular room. And the player's guide that I had mentioned that there was a shortcut in the upper right of Meridia. And I couldn't figure out where it was. Because I explored the little elevator path up there, everything going on, and I could not figure out where that shortcut was. As it turns out, it was just poor wording on the player's guide's part, by shortcut, they just meant another entrance to Meridia that leads you down here. It's not actually a shortcut deep into Meridia. So we're in Meridia, but we still have not, like, really entered proper. Hey, we got out. This sand is rough. So I mentioned that scientists are still trying to understand how exactly the water physics in Super Metroid works. Being stuck in sand, and this falling sand, is like the water physics on steroids. You almost can't function. And then on the off chance you get it right, you just careen out at 100,000 miles an hour. So, I don't think there's anything in this room. So, one thing about the sand, though, is you'll notice if I spin jump into it, I landed knee-high. If you don't spin jump in it, you land on your feet. So you may see me, whenever I'm jumping into sand, angle real quick just before I land, which ensures that I actually land on my feet instead of knee-deep in it. So the next room here is a very interesting one. Getting up here, there we go. This enemy right here that I'm standing on, you can freeze in a very specific position, and I've practiced this, and I cannot do it reliably. You can freeze it in a very specific position, so you can do something similar to what I was trying to show off in Wrecked Ship, where you can clip yourself through this and get through that door. That's what I came over here to show you. It's a way to get in there without the grappling beam, because otherwise you have to use the grappling beam to get rid of that block. You're kind of expected to have another much later item to get up here. Though even then, it's still kind of a nightmare due to how that works. But if you can wall jump, then you can just get up like nobody's business. Be careful, the very left side of this platform is breakaway, and if you fall down there, you're not getting back up. Oh, does that not respawn? Maybe you are getting back up. This guy's great. What's this guy's name? He's named like the Shikari or something weird like that. But you cannot break this sand. You cannot do anything to get rid of it. You cannot bomb it, nothing. This guy here is the only one that can break this sand. And speedrunners hate this room, let me tell you. Because this is all you can do. You have to wait for him. He means well. He's not trying to hurt you, but if you walk into his spikes, he does hurt. And then we come in here, where you had to morph in here, and you can't get out very easily at all. This is a very high bomb jump. I mean, granted, if you can morph in midair, you can get out, but, like, for a casual player, they never expect you to do that. But there is an item over here. And these simple bomb jumps are easy enough, and then another one of these that we're going to have trouble getting out. The spring ball, which we saw in Metroid 2. The spring ball is commonly understood to be the most useless item in the game, second only to the grappling beam. Because really, at the end of the day, the only thing the grappling beam gets you is the spring ball. Everything else you can get. Also, funny thing of note, look at the map. This room is called the pants room. I love this room. It's the pants room, look at it, it's a pair of pants. And what's weird is that it's the only room in the game with a door that goes to itself. Because this door just leads to the left pant leg, which we went over on the top. It's the same room. Here we are, we're in the same room we were in a moment ago. Okay, now for the long and arduous task of going back through here. So the sand just pushes you down. Leave me alone, dude. There we go. The sand just pushes you down, but that does make getting out of, or this falling sand just pushes you down, but that does make getting out of the sand at the bottom of the screen much harder. And we get to do it again. I hate these rooms. Because you can just, like, be down here. And, like, you're down here now. Yes, controlling your jump through these things is weird and does not control well. Alright, so we saw those guys just climb out of that hole on the bottom. But if we go through the left door instead, we find a green gate switch, so we can't go this way. Ah, I was trying to squeeze in. I was trying to morph and then go in because I knew I could get under him. There's a third one coming. There he is. Maybe I froze him or something. Ooh, a map. And there's Meridia, a great deal of it. And something that you may notice is what we went through was a closed loop. There was no other path for us to take other than the path that we did. And that led us to where we are now. Wasn't trying to kill you. And hey, remember this place? I suppose this may be your proper hint that this is how you're supposed to enter Meridia. Because we just came down from Criteria and followed a blocked off path. There was no way for us to go other than the path that we took. And that leads us here, where we can see the whole map, everything we have to explore, everywhere we have to go, and it's all accessible from this room. You could even look down and see the save point below where you currently are. So if you hadn't destroyed this glass tube, you should at least understand that this glass tube is how you enter Meridia. Figuring out to powerbomb it is another issue. But hey, now that we have the gravity suit, getting around in here is going to be much easier. We can just jump up here now. Had to freeze a guy in midair to get up here before. Because high jump doesn't work without gravity. Nothing works. Such lonely music. And the weird block-like structures in the background. You're not just in a cave. What's going on here? What kind of location is this? So, looking at the map, you'll notice that there's a large room to the right. And no visible way to get to it. It probably doesn't connect to a save point, and there is no way to get to it from below. So you have to explore a little bit to figure that out. And as it turns out, how you get in is quite simple. It's right here. A small hidden passageway that leads you to the room. So, this room is troublesome. A bit. I'm gonna leave that guy alone and hope that he leaves me alone. There's a missile tank in the wall. Good luck ever realizing that this is here. And you can see there's a pinpoint there, so you know there's something else in here, and guess what? It's an energy tank. I'm doing this because I hate that friggin' turtle. But I'm never gonna hit that, so let's go ahead and bother the turtle. So if you come down here and bother literally any of these things, turtle wakes up and he is unhappy. He actually tries to spin towards you, so if you're on the ground next to him, he will spin left and right and smash into you. If you're on top of him, he tries to spin up, which is the perfect way to get up here to this. Now, let's see if I can get back down without getting hit by him. There he goes. Now this is, we've used the grappling beam to move around on grapple block ceilings before, but we haven't used it like we used it right there, against a single block in the air, and this is where you notice that you can actually have some fun with that. Oh, by the way, if you're doing this suitless, this is your man. This is the guy you have to stand on and do this. As exciting as this is. Yep. Still unbelievably hard to get up here. Hold up, I can make that. I can't make that, though. Actually, I think I can. Heck yeah, avoiding the entire room. Let's not. Okay, so you come out here, and the easier path then is this way, which takes you down here. There's a door here that leads directly back down. To the room we were in before. And there's something that I skipped. And that is going in this room. This is one of the... Of course, really. I find this is one of the more tricky tanks to get. Simply because you have to use a super missile and go through this gate every time you want to try. Okay, I think I saw Samus ducking, so we should be good. You walk over here, and... How would you know to do that? Well, if you come up here, you can see the missile tank in the ceiling. If you either bomb that block or X-ray scope it, you'll see it's a speed booster block. And then you're like, how the heck do you break a speed booster block? And you do it by figuring out, well, if I jump straight up from this plant, now the trick is just building up a speed boost, which is difficult. There is enough space right here that you can do a very short charge speed boost in this space. That is not something that I am capable of. So, over here, yes, that's just a ledge, nothing there. Nothing over here. Crap, crap, crap. And there's a super missile in there. Boy, it'd be swell if we could get that. I like super missiles. They hurt things real good. So that super missile, we clearly couldn't get to from where we were, but it was down here somewhere. Ah! And there's a super missile. And this actually takes us back outside, right where we were before. Now, from up here, there are, of course, these grapple blocks. You can swing across this way. There's even a door here, which I'll hop in, but I'm not going to go all the way through. Alright, I have the spring ball. And that leads you here, which you may recall I showed this off earlier as an exit point into Brine Star. Not an entrance, though. So we don't want to go that way just yet. Wonder why that fish is orange. We can continue this way instead. And these are some shockingly precise grapple blocks. Oh goody, I made it. I don't like using those, because you miss one, you fall, you have to go do it all over again, and getting back isn't even necessarily easy. But one thing you can do to shorten your trip is these guys. Just floating around in the middle of the room. You can fling yourself up next to the grapple blocks there and get up that way. And of course, another way is... and that'll get you up, too. There was something else I wanted to talk about getting up there, but I can't remember what it was. Hey, there's a guy down there! Hey! Okay, so you can go down from here, though it's not marked on the map. Let's go up first, though, since the game actively showed us the up path. Oh my goodness, I have so many horrible memories of suitless Meridia. Getting up here, having to wait for that friggin' crawler guy to come around and then freeze him halfway to jump on him. Ugh. Alright, so we're back out here in the land. And there's a secret over here. So there are 2 items that I always miss when I'm playing Super Metroid. That I'll always get to the end of the game and go, but I got all the items, why am I at 99%? This is one of them. The other one is the one that I forgot about in Wrecked Ship that we'll be back to eventually. So what's neat here is this is a really big room with nothing in it. Nothing here. I actually like this room, because even though there's nothing here, it makes this feel a lot more like a place, instead of a sequence of levels that you're designed to go through as a player. You can hop up here, there's nothing up here though. But there's a door over here. Now these little guys, these eyeball guys, these are the best. They're called menus. Just M-E-N-U, and I love them. Mostly just because they're called menu and they're very tiny. Hey. So once again, we're going off map. But you're gonna figure something out. You come in here, and this is immediately a dead end. So keep looking. Whoa! So if you come in here without high jump, this can be kind of hard to get up. I think you can wall jump off this wall and get up, otherwise you need to... either I think you need to freeze a menu. And all this for... There's always something. You don't just put a room in with nothing at the end of it. Come all the way here for Super Missile. And a regular missile. Also, if you're suitless, getting out of this tiny little room here is a nightmare. So you have to, like, from here, because you can't actually jump high enough to get out. You have to, from here, I think, spin jump over and get into this hole. And while spin jumping, you have to rapid wall jump, because you cannot gain height with a wall jump when you don't have the gravity suit on. It's like right after you jump, you gain like a pixel, and that's it. That's all you get. So when you're stuck in a 1-block vertical area like that, you can gain height. But it ain't easy. Alright, well, we didn't get a lot out of it. Well, actually, we got a lot out of that. We just didn't get any forward progress out of that. So let's turn around and work our way back. All this mechanical stuff down here. Like, what's going on? What kind of structure is this that we're now underwater? What even is this white crap? Hanging off stuff, building on blocks. Powerbomb blocks there. And that up there is actually something too. But it's crumble blocks. And a save room. Here, I will say, until next time, everyone, we forged our way into Meridia. And though the left-hand side of this was an interesting underwater area, a little creepy, weird stuff, but nothing too extravagant. I don't know what those weird blocks in the background are, but I love that this game does stuff like that. You could just make that a cave. You're underwater, it's a cave. Rock walls, rock background, it's a cave. You're done. Good job. But like Super Metroid does this all over, where it builds these weird environments that just don't make sense. But that's part of the mood that Super Metroid sets up. Until next time, everyone.